Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live.
Silly me. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Silly me. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm so sorry. I muted myself. Good morning, everyone. Okay. This is an official good morning to everyone. And how is everyone doing? Today, we are here to continue on with Conversations with God. I am enjoying this book. I don't want to say loving it because then in the next chapter I'll be like, oh, this doesn't make sense. But I am enjoying this book. And I hope you are too. I hope you are sitting back and enjoying yourself and feeling what the book is trying to convey to all of us, what Neil is trying to say to all of us through his personal conversations with God. I don't know. I think I'm kind of jealous of Neil, to be honest with you. He annoys me, but I think he more annoys me because I'm jealous. I don't want to say I wish I had conversations with God. I don't know if that's what I'm saying, because I can certainly have those conversations. Because when I get up there, he'll be like, well, you wished for it. So I don't want to say it in a way where it gets misinterpreted by my angels and guides, right? Because they like to grant our wishes. Um, but I do want to say that I'm jealous. And I think it's easier to say that than to put out a wish that somebody can grant. And I'll be like, no, that's not what I meant. I think he is very lucky to have had these accidental enlightenment that led to writing this whole book. And it's not about the book, it's about the luckiness to be chosen, right? To be chosen to have a conversation with God. I think that's what I like. Like, who doesn't want to be favored in God's eyes that way? But I think in some way we all are favored in God's eyes, but do we listen? Do we understand that you are Neil, I am Neil? Is that hard to comprehend? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe it could be a little hard to understand. Oh my goodness. It is 9 o'clock on a Saturday, and I didn't bring anything to drink, so I feel like I should get a cup of coffee. I'm debating, but coffee just makes me happy. Come with me. Come with me while I get a cup of coffee. I'm starting to notice, guys, that I have a voice, like a really great speaking voice. So I think I'm going to start utilizing my voice in a voice kind of way. Why am I missing all my coffee cups? Put my coffee cups. Oh, I'll use this one. I change where I put things. All right. Enough water in there. Let me see who's on. Oh, hi, Layla. Good morning, Tracy 15. You are the truth. Hi, sweetie. How are you? Oops. You know what I love? I love the sound of kitchen noises. So listen for the kitchen noises. These are all kitchen noises. I love the sound. I could just have videos full of kitchen noises. Seriously. Love the sound of kitchen noises. Hold on a second. Oh, I'll just leave that there for right now. I don't have time to pick it up. Milk. Does anybody else love the sound? Sound of the rain, working on the chain. Yeah. Let me see who else is here. African shea butter. Why? God loves us all. Oh, I know. I know God loves us all. Sometimes God loves us all differently. He doesn't love us all the same. So I just think He has a different blessing, right? So you don't understand. When you read the Bible, God used to talk to people, and I don't mean that you don't read the Bible, but God talks. Back in the day, God used to literally talk to people. Hello. And I always thought, what the hell is this? What would happen if God did that with me? And then years later, there's all these books where God does do that to people. I mean, for the most part, you have to go into a coma. I'm not down for that shit. If that's the case, we don't need to talk, God. Just frustrating my my desires. I always brag about talking with God, but it could be God, it could not be God. It could be my angels and my guides. It could be I'm talking to my higher self. I just trust my higher self so that when I have these conversations inside my little piggy brain of mine, I just believe that it is my spiritual highness that is talking with God. So I always say I'm talking with God. All right, now I am back at my desk. My house is a complete mess. I mean, it takes 2 seconds to clean up. That's the good part, but it's still a mess. I went to bed late last night. So usually before I go to bed, I do a roundup, but I couldn't do it last night. Hi, Rhonda. Good morning, sweetie. How are you? How are you? Let me see who else. Black coffee, no cream. Hi, how are you? Good morning. You know, guys, I keep a back scratcher, but only because as of lately, my back is so dry. So I have cream to put on my back. All right. Let's get to the chapter. Chapter 6. And Neil goes on chapter 6. Let's begin. And what of suffering? What of suffering, he says. Is suffering the way and the path to God? Some say it's the only way. And God says, I am not pleased by suffering. Whoever says I am does not know me. Suffering is an unnecessary aspect of the human experience. It is not only unnecessary, it is unwise, uncomfortable, and hazardous to your health. Then why is there so much suffering? Why don't you, if you are God, put an end to it if you dislike it so much? And God goes, I have put an end to it. You simply refuse to use the tools I have given you with which to realize that. You see, suffering has nothing to do with events, but with one's reaction to them. What's happening is merely what's happening. How you feel about it is another matter. I have given you tools with which you respond and react to events in a way which reduces and, in fact, eliminates pain and suffering. But you have not used them. Excuse me, says Neil. Why not eliminate the event? That's a good suggestion, God says. Unfortunately, I have no control over them. You have no control over events, Neil says to God. And he goes, of course not. Events are occurrences in time. In time and space, which you produce out of choice. And I will never interfere with choices. To do so would mean to obviate the very reason I created you. But I've explained all this before. Some events you produce willfully, and some events you draw to you, more or less unconsciously. Some events, major natural disaster, are amongst those you toss into the category are written off as fate. But even fate could be an acronym for from all thoughts everywhere. In other words, the consciousness of the planet, the collective consciousness. There are those who say the world is going to hell in a handbasket. Our ecology is dying. Our planet is in for a major geophysical disaster. Earthquakes, volcanoes, maybe even a tilting of the earth on its axis. And there are others who say collective consciousness can change all that. That we can save the earth with our thoughts. Thoughts put into action. Enough people everywhere believe something must be done to help the environment. You will save the earth. But you must work fast. So much damage has already been done for so long. This will make a major altitudinal shift. Hold on a second. I just need to highlight. Good morning, Stacy. How are you? You mean if we don't, we will see the earth and its inhabitants destroyed? And God says, I have made the laws of physical universe clear enough for anyone to understand. There are the laws of cause and effect, which have been sufficiently outlined to your scientists your physicists, and through them to your world leaders. These laws don't need to be outlined once more here. Getting back to the suffering, where did we ever get the idea that suffering was good? That the saintly suffer in silence? The saintly do suffer in silence, but that does not mean suffering is good. The students in the school of mastery suffer in silence because they understand that suffering is not the way of God, but rather a sure sign that there is still something to learn of the way of God, still something to remember. A true master does not suffer in silence at all, but only appears to be suffering without complaint. The reason the true master does not complain is that the true master is not suffering, but simply experiencing a set of circumstances that you would call insufferable. A practicing master does not speak of suffering simply because a master practicing clearly understands the power of the word, and so chooses to simply not say a word about it. Good morning, just observing. Hello, sweeties. A mastering master does not speak of suffering simply because the master practicing clearly understands the power of the word, and so chooses to simply not say a word about it. We make real that to which we pay attention. The master knows this. The master places himself at a choice with regard to that which he chooses to make real. You have all done this form from time to time. There's not a one among you has not made a headache disappear, or a visit to the dentist less painful through your decisions about it. A master simply makes the same decisions about larger things. But why have suffering at all, says Neil? Why have even the possibility of suffering? Rhonda, did I miss you, sweetie? Good morning. I feel like I missed you. But why suffering at all? Why even the possibility of suffering? And God says you cannot know and become that which you are, in the absence of that which you are not, as I have already explained to you. Neil goes, I still don't understand how we ever got the idea that suffering was good. And God said, you are wise to be insistent in questioning that. The original wisdom surrounding suffering and silence has become so perverted that many believe, and several religions actually teach, that suffering is good and joy is bad. Therefore, you have decided that if someone has cancer but keeps it to himself, he is a saint. Whereas, if someone has to pick a dynamite topic, robust sexuality, and celebrates it openly, he is a sinner. Boy, did you pick a dynamite topic? And you cleverly changed the pronoun too from male to female. What was that? To make a point. I'm sorry, I did something wrong. Therefore, you decided that if someone has cancer but keeps it to himself, he is a saint. Whereas if someone has to pick a dynamite topic, robust sexuality, and celebrates it openly, she is a sinner. And Neil goes, boy, you did pick a dynamite topic, and you clearly changed the pronoun too from male to female. What was the point of that? And God goes, it was to show you your prejudices. You don't like to think of women having robust sexuality, much less celebrating it openly. You would rather see a dying man without a whimper on the battlefield than a woman making love with a whimper in the street. I like this. I like this. We talk about sex all the time. Oh, I talk about sex all the time. You know what? I'm going to start writing in the book. Sex. Okay. You would rather see a man dying without a whimper on the battlefield than a woman making love with a whimper in the street. Wouldn't you? Says God. Wouldn't you? Says God. I don't know who says this. I have no judgment one way or the other, but you have all sorts of them, says God. I suggest that it is your judgment which keeps you from joy, and your expectations which make you unhappy. All of this put together is what causes dis-ease, disease, and therefore begins your suffering. You know, I'm finding a lot of this, side note, I'm finding a lot of this um, that people's own judgments keep them from joy, right? And then here I come along and I'm people's dirty little secrets, right? Right? My mom would never let me do this, Tracy. You know, my church would never let me talk to a psychic, Tracy, right? And or practice tarot. My mom would have a fit if I practiced tarot, right? But most of your moms are miserable. Most of you all are miserable. Most church members are miserable. And so imagine freeing yourself and entering a world that is different, that is freeing. What if you did take up pole dancing and you went to church on Sundays? What if you took up belly dancing and went to Bible study on Wednesday? What if you wanted to invest in tarot cards? Just do it. And when you hear your preacher say something's evil and you take it personally, sucks to be you. Because there's nothing more freer than making a choice free of you judging how people will treat you. I didn't know this, guys, but I've never been more happy at being a psychic. But I didn't know it. I just arrived here one day. And I just tell people I still believe in God and Jesus. I believe in angels. I believe in guides. I believe I am protected by God. I believe God doesn't hate me because I do tarot. I believe you hate me because I do tarot. Not you guys, not the Purple Brick Road people, mystical misfits. I believe that I have a right to stand on my own 2 feet ever since I stood on my own 2 feet. I have a right to move about the country the way I want to, hurt no one. That's the hard part. When people start to make fun of you and they start to hurt your feelings. The hard part is not giving up because you've been ridiculed. I'm jealous of pole dancers. I cannot get these fat legs swinging around no pole. I'm jealous of strippers. I think I would be a great stripper. Oh Lord, God's gonna make me a stripper now. I'm not asking to be a stripper. I gotta tell the universe because they give me what I want. I'm not asking to be a stripper, but I'm jealous. But I wouldn't mind burlesque dancing. There's a girl. There's a girl in. Well, I wouldn't mind burlesque. Oh, there's a girl in the store that I used to go to. Her name is Shauna, and she has this company. I forget, Bell Books and Candles or something like that. Shauna is on IG. Let me see if I can find her. Give her a plug. Shauna. I think her name is Intuitive Shauna. Intuitive Shauna. There she is. Oh my God. She is simply adorable. Look at you. Oh, she's all grown up now. That's a great picture. Beautiful pic. Oh, wait, let me just let her know. Beautiful. 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 I give her. All right. I think she had something last night. Halloween. Oh, Halloween. What? Email reading. Oh, there you go. She's really grown. And there she goes. Her name is Intuitive Shauna. And she has this company called Bell Booking Candle. And she is damn near buck naked, free. Fucking free. And she's young, right? And she's brought up in a world where freeing herself was initiated early for her. Whereas in my age bracket, right, freeing myself is like, damn, can I? Should I? Damn. But if I go back, and it's not an if, I really need to go back to California. If I go back to California, I might ask her to let me get this out my system. I might ask her, can I do a striptease? I just want to get it out my system. So look at her page. I've known her for years. I don't know at what age I knew her. I think I knew her in her early 20s. And she just had a baby. Oh, when you watch the kids grow up to the point of having babies, my God, it just makes you feel so old. Her name is Intuitive Shauna. Go ahead and follow her. For those of you that dare to explore the witchy side, the witchy poochy side of yourselves. I didn't call you witchy poochy. I said, if you dare, go for it. I have no judgment one way or the other, says God, but you have all sorts of them. And I suggest that it is your judgments which keeps you from joy, and your expectations which make you unhappy. Who wants to start being happy? Who wants to kick off those damn heels, those damn sneakers, those damn shoes, and just free yourself? Hurt no one. Hurt no one. All of this put together is what causes you dis-ease, disease, and therefore begins your real suffering. How do I know what you are saying is true? Says Neil. See, I can't stand Neil, right? Neil, you're talking to God. You're so lucky to talk to God. How do I know what you say is true, God? How do I know this is even God speaking? That's a good point, and not my overactive imagination. That's a good point. In book club, we had someone say that they were speaking from spirit. And then I said, I wouldn't trust your spirits. And she said, no, they're really spirits. And I was like, no. They really aren't. Because when you come, this is me, not the book yet. When you come from a spiritual place, you might start with questioning, not demanding, right? The only time you need to demand to someone is if you think a child is in danger, a person is in complete danger. Then you go, you better not go back to him. You better not. I've had to say that to people in my readings. I'm like, something bad will happen. Do not go back. Stay focused. But what if he comes knocking on my door? Which isn't even a thing nowadays, right? You guys never have to worry about anybody knocking on your door. What you have to worry about is the text message. That's considered knocking on your door in modern day times. And I'm like, whatever you do, don't respond. It becomes a personal choice to deal with him. Stay strong. But going back to him, because I'll see something like the tower or, the death card or this, like it's just a nightmare, right? The shadow card, which means jail. Somebody's going to jail. If you got away, stay away. I don't care what the drawer is. Like people are like, but you can't help who you love. No, you actually can help who you love. Who said that? Who created that phrase? You can't help who you love. You can help who you love. You can literally stop loving a person. Literally. It might be painful. Got it. Go through the pains. Because they're growing pains. The pains are teaching you that someone didn't like you anymore. And you didn't read the memo in the relationship, because in order to get to that point of pain, the shift had occurred. Not one time, not twice, over and over and over. All right? How did I get on that topic? Sometimes I go off on tangents, guys. I'm so sorry. So pain, shifting, listening, happiness. Oh, I forgot how I got there. But you needed to hear it. So I gave it. Oh, he goes, how do I know that what you are saying is true? How do I know that this is even God speaking and not an overactive imagination? The overactive imagination has to do with your response to the problem. You know when you're coming to a God place when you inquire about something. When you say, I see something happening. Can you tell me why you're responding in such a way? Why is this happening this way? Is there a better way to figure this out, communicate this, work this? That's when you know you're coming from a spirit of God. I promise you. Because what you're also saying is, I'm willing to listen. These changes make me feel uncomfortable, but I'm willing to ask the right questions. And they don't have to be the right questions. I'm willing to ask questions to make sure I understand why something different is happening. When you come from a place of, I see what's happening and you better change, that is not of God. That is ego. Because I need you to change so I can go back to feeling comfortable. I need you to fix this so that I can operate better. I, me, myself. Then you may not be speaking to the right spirits, or you may not be speaking to a spirit at all. Sometimes it's just your ego. Sometimes it's other people's influence into a direction, right? It's on IG, Stacy. Let me say hi to everyone. Hold on a second. Let's go back up. I am well this morning. Good morning and wonderful day. Good morning, Bree. Miracles and blessings to all. Thank you, Bree. Be a stripper for you, future partner. I don't understand that. Bree, yes, do it, Miss Tracy. Do it. I might do it. I might. When I go back to California, I might ask her if I could do a strip tease. I mean, I've lost enough weight to feel confident enough to want to do it, right? Hey, Colton, how are you? Is your friend's page Shauna the artist? Can't find intuitive. Oh, it's one word, sweetie. Intuitive Shauna. SHANA. Intuitive Shauna. Let me know if you found it yet. I bet if I tell her I just need to get this out my system, she's going to be like, bet. And by the way, everyone, look at the sexiness of everyone. That is so cool. I want to be sexy. I want to be hella sexy. At least once in my life, I want to be sexy. Before I die, I want to be sexy. Damn it. I want to shake my boo thing and wiggle, 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 wiggle. I really do. I'm going to do it, Bree. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Okay. So now I'm going to read God's answer. How do I know that what you're saying is true? How do I know that even that this is even God and not my overactive imagination? Do you know, before I read God's answer, do you know most psychotic people think they're talking to God? Did you know that? Most people with psychosis think they're talking to God. And then They go out and kill people. They kill people in Jesus' name, right? Right? You know those people, right? Why'd you shoot up a whole? Because God told me to do it. A whole group of stadium people, really? Who is your God, right? Or church people do it too. Don't get it twisted. You don't need to have a man with a gun. Church people do it all the time. Why are you coming to church with a short skirt? Where's your prayer cloth? We will annihilate you if you come to church looking all hella sexy. Come on, people. They got guns too in church. Their eyes are guns. Their attitudes towards you when you walk in looking hella cute with a short skirt. But you look cute. Come on, in black churches, we're not trying to go out not looking cute. High heels. I like to wear high heels to church on Sundays. I'm a short girl. High heels is a whole thing with me. Not anymore, because like I'm 60 and I'm age of Bruno. Like my knees won't be able to tolerate high heels anymore. I just threw the high heels in the garbage. I was like, fuck that. But that's not the point. The point is, you walk into the church, a wrong church, they're going to shoot you some daggers. You're going to feel their energy, and they will knock you down. And you can go back and challenge these motherfuckers if you want, but I can guarantee if you keep going to that church, you will transform into what they need you to be, because now you will become their mission. They will keep guns pointing at you until you change. Y'all are worried about an AR-15? Don't. Let's hear God's answer, though. How do I know, Neil says, that I'm even talking to God? What if it's my overly active imagination? And God goes, you've asked this before. My answer is the same. What difference does it make? Even if everything I've said is wrong, can you think of a better way to live? That's a good answer, God. I didn't expect that. And Neil goes, no. Then wrong is right and right is wrong. Yet I tell you this to help you out of your dilemma. Believe nothing that I say. Simply live it. Experience it. Then live whatever other paradigm you want to construct. Afterwards, look to your experience to find your truth. One day, if you have a great deal of courage, you will experience a world where making love is considered better than making war. On that day, you will rejoice. See? That's why I talk about sex all the time. See, everyone? I was right. Sex is good. God gave us sex. Isn't there a song out there? More sex, not war. Isn't that a song? See, y'all thought I was just being horny all the time. Well, Tracy love talk about sex, child. Everybody start giggling. Make love, not war. Lyrics. Imagine if Netanyahu just threw his head back and let somebody suck on him in a loving way. Doesn't Tamara have a song about love and war? Can we just make it? Let me see. Love Not War, the Tampa Beat, sung by Jason Derulo. Oh, can we just make love, not war? Oh, oh. Can we just make love, not war? Oh, oh. I don't know this song. I gotta listen to that song. Good morning and good health. 504 today. Are you guys down for understanding that you all should be having a lot of sex? People come to me all the time. I'm going off on the tantrum. I don't care. And they go, Tracy, I'm celibate. I'm like, why? Because, because what? Because some man hurt you? Because you gave it up too freely to the last guy? That wasn't about him. That was about you. You wanted to lay low and spread them wide. I say, did you enjoy it? Come on. Y'all know I've said that to you in private readings. Did you enjoy it? Well, yes. All right. I think I'll go back to being celibate. Why? What kind of banner of celibacy? No one cares. No one cares that you're celibate. I would say only be celibate as a way of fasting. That's what I would say. But even fasting has to end. But y'all just want to take celibacy like it's a marathon. I've been celibate 3 months. I've been celibate 6 months. I could beat that. I've been celibate a year. Whoa! I could beat that. I ain't had sex in 5 years. Oh my God. Now, it's getting out of control. It's getting out of control. I will tell you something, women. This is just the women. Women, stop sucking on dicks. And I'm dead serious. Stop going on your knees and sucking. Don't let a man pull it out in the car. Don't let him come over to your house. Don't let him start wiggling and gyrating his pelvic. And you do not pull it out for him. Refuse to go down. But your mouth is golden. Your mouth is everything. Why are you going to put a dick in it? Your mouth is for eating and kissing. And maybe rubbing your tongue all over his body. I'm out of control today. Do not pleasure a man before he's had the opportunity to enter your vagina. It is his job to use that member of his and stick it in. If you are servicing a man before he's had the opportunity to figure out if he likes you, he won't stay with you. I promise you. He just wants to be serviced. He won't stay. If you make that his first pleasure, then it's that pleasure that he always wants before your vagina. You are servicing him. You are relieving him. And he will thank you. He will tell you it's the best head he's ever had. It's not true. You just allowed him to get relief. I teach you. Nobody listens though, but I will teach you. I'll teach you all about sex. Y'all got to stop having sex with these motherfuckers. If you don't know them, and 3 dates? How the fuck you gonna know somebody in 3 dates? Please answer that question for me. I'm just curious. Change your rules. Keep your back stiff. Keep your underwears on. Change the rules. No. Oh, come on, baby. Come on. No. Get out. Get out. Get out. I'll see you on our next date. Oh, this vagina. This vagina takes work. It takes work. It's not happening overnight. I don't need sex that bad. I need a good man to want me that bad. And that I can only figure out by getting to know you more. And just because I'm sitting in your house is not an invitation for sex, motherfucker. No, it's not. Just because I invite you over to watch a really good movie and we might snuggle and I might pull my breasts out for you to suck on it. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. It don't mean I'm going to have sex. Get out. Ah, oh, it's too much. It's getting too hot in here. You gotta go. Boom, boom, boom. Get out. I might give you a little. I'll let your fingers do the walking, but it's gonna take time for me to give it up fully. And that's not being celibate. That's about getting to know someone. My sexuality is high, so yeah, touchy feely is fine. All right, I'm off the beaten path. Shall we get back on the beaten path? Chapter 7. Life is so scary and so confusing, says Neil. I wish things could be clearer. And God says there is nothing scary about life. You are not attached to the results. Oh, wow, that's interesting. You are not scared about life. You are attached to the results. And Neil goes, you mean if you don't want anything? That's right. Choose, but don't want. Interesting. Choose, but don't want. Wow. That's easy for people who don't have anybody depending on them. But if you have a wife and children, and God says the path of the householder has always been a most challenging path, perhaps the most challenging. As you point out, it is easy to want nothing when you are only dealing with yourself. It is natural. When you have others you love, to want only the best for them. It hurts, Neil says, when you can't give them all that you want them to have: a nice home, decent clothes, enough food. I feel as though I've been struggling for 20 years to make ends meet, and I still have nothing to show for it. And God goes, you mean in terms of material wealth? And Neil goes, I mean in terms of just some of the basics that a man would like to pass on to his children. I mean in terms of the very simple things a man would like to provide for his wife. I see, says God. You see it as your job in life to provide all these things. Is that what you imagine your life to be about? And Neil goes, I'm not sure I state it that way. This is not what my life is about, but it sure would be nice if this could be a byproduct, at least. And God goes, well, let's go back then. What do you see your life being about? That's a good question, says Neil. I had a lot of different answers to that through the years. And God goes, what is your answer now? And Neil goes, it feels as though I have two answers to the question: the answer I'd like to see and the answer I'm seeing. And God goes, What's the answer you'd like to see? And Neil says, I like to see my life being about the evolution of my soul. I like to see my life being about expressing and experiencing the part of me I love the most. The part of me that is compassionate and patient and giving and helping. The part of me that is knowing and wise and forgiving and loved. And God goes, sounds like you've been reading this book. And Neil goes, yes. Well, it's a beautiful book on an esoteric level, but I'm trying to figure out how to practicalize that. The answer to your question that I see being real in my life is that it's about day-to-day survival. Oh, says God, and you think one thing precludes the other. Well, says Neil, you think esoterics preclude survival? Neil goes, the truth is I like to do more than survive. I've been surviving all these years. I notice I'm still here, but I'm like the struggle for survival to the end. I see that I'm just getting by day. It's such a struggle. I like to do more than survive. I'd like to prosper. And God goes, and what would you call prospering? And God goes, having enough that I don't have to worry where my next dollar is coming from. Not having to stress and strain just to make the rent or handle the phone bill. I mean, I hate to get so mundane, but we're talking real life here, not the airy fairy spiritual romanticized picture of life you draw throughout this book. And God goes, do I hear a little anger there? And Neil goes, not anger, just frustration. I've been at this spiritual game for over 20 years now, and look where it's gotten me. One paycheck away from the poorhouse, and now I'm just lost at my job, and it looks like the cash flow has stopped again. I'm getting tired of the struggle. I'm 49 years old. I'd like to have some security in life so I could devote more time to God stuff, to soul evoluting, etc. That's where my heart is, but it's not where my life allows me to go. Hold on a second. I get so sick of this. Well, you said a mouthful there, says God, and I suspect you're speaking for a whole lot of people when you share that experience. I'm going to respond to your truth one sentence at a time so we can easily track and dissect the answer. You have not been at this spiritual game for 20 years. You have barely skirted the edges of it. This is not a spanking, by the way. This is just a statement of the truth. I'll concede that for 2 decades you've been looking at it, flirting with it, experimenting now and then, but I haven't felt your truest commitment to the game until just recently, says God. Let me be clear. Being at the spiritual game means dedicating your whole mind, your whole body, your whole soul to the process of creating self in the image and likeness of God. This is the process of self-realization about which Eastern mystics have written. It is the process of salvation to which Western theology has devoted itself. This is a day-to-day, hour-to-hour, moment-to-moment act of supreme consciousness. It is choosing and re-choosing every instant. It is ongoing creation, conscious creation, creation with a purpose. It is using the tools of creation we have already discussed and using them with awareness and sublime intention. That is playing this spiritual game. Now, how long have you been at this? And Neil goes, I haven't even begun. Woo! God threw the book at Neil. Mm, mm. Do y'all need me to read that over again? Because God threw the book at Neil. God was like, get the fuck out of here. Don't play that pity party with me. I know you. You ain't did shit. Don't try me. What? Do y'all need me to read that again? Because that he slapped the shit out of Neil. Don't box with God, y'all. Let me see something. Oh, they hit this. So, salt and pepper. Let's talk about sex, baby. Right. They hit it. You know, YouTube. You're a keyword. They just, they hit it. Who said it? Stacy. Salt and pepper. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the things that see. I don't know the words. You know the words. You know. Um, repeat it again. Okay, let's listen to this. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay. Oh wait. Okay, this page. Oh, I'm so glad I saved it. Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna start with, do I hear a little anger? Right? Because Neil goes, having enough that I don't have to worry where my next dollar is coming from. Not having to stress and strain to make the rent or handle the phone bill. I mean, I hate to get mundane, but we're talking real life here, not the airy fairy spirituality romance picture of life that you draw throughout this book. Man. And God goes, oh, do I hear a little anger? And Neil goes, not anger so much as frustration. I've been at this spiritual game for 20 years. And look where it's gotten me. One paycheck away from the poorhouse, and now I'm just lost. And now I've just lost my job, and it looks like the cash flow has stopped again. I'm getting really tired of the struggle. I'm 49 years old, and I like to have some security in life so I could devote more time to God stuff, to soul evoluting, etc. That's where my heart is, but it's not where my life allows me to go. And God goes, well, you've said a mouthful there. And I suspect you're speaking for a whole lot of people when you share this experience. I'm going to respond to your truth one sentence at a time so that we can easily track and dissect the answer. And God says, you have not been at this spiritual game for 20 years. You have been barely skirting the edges of it. This is not a spanking, by the way. This is just a statement of the truth. I'll concede that for 2 decades you've been looking at it, flirting with it, experiencing, experimenting with it now and then, but I haven't felt your truest commitment to the game until recently. Being at this spiritual game means dedicating your whole mind, your whole body, your whole soul to the process of creating self in the image and likeness of God. This is the process of self-realization about which Eastern mystics have written. It is the process of salvation to which much Western theology has devoted itself. This is a day-to-day, hour-to-hour, moment-to-moment act of supreme consciousness. It is a choosing and a re-choosing of every instant. It is ongoing creation, conscious creation, creation with a purpose. It is using the tools of creation that we have discussed and using them with awareness and sublime intention. That is playing the spiritual game. Now, how long have you been at this? And Neil says, I haven't even begun. Right, Neil. Right. Don't tell me, God is saying to Neil, that if I give you the freedom of money and want, that you could spend time evoluting to God, right? Every day is God. Every moment is God. Poor, rich, worried, like everything we do is of God. Remember, I said, like, how do you know that the God voice inside of you is the good voice? It'll ask questions. It'll want to get to the core of a problem. It's not going to determine that you're trying to get me. Oh, this person at my job, she's out to get me. Maybe you could ask a person at your job if they're out to get you. Maybe they might have their own goddamn problems and is not thinking about you. They might be treating you poorly, but maybe they aren't even aware of it because they have so much of their own problem. That has happened to me before, where I'm like, this bitch doesn't like me. And I went around the office letting people know this bitch doesn't like me. I don't know why she don't like me. Because, I'm a Leo, so in my unhealthy, state of being, right? All I could do is think about me. This bitch don't like me. Every time I come to work, here she is, standing over me, micromanaging me. Fuck her. It's just going to make me not work more. Until, I don't know if it was I or them or HR, God knows, until I have a conversation and then a person tells me, one, I didn't realize it, and two, Tracy, I have my own problems. When I tell you I'm not thinking on annihilating you or attacking you, I promise you, I got my own problems. I come to work every day with a sick mother in the hospital. And then you wind up sitting there going, oh shit, I made everything about me? And this person is riding a whole nother energy that has nothing to do with me, but she has to show up every day at work just like I do and do a job. And she's getting beat up at home. Her mom is dying. These are all examples. Her children are acting a fool, but she has to show up every day and act like she's okay mentally. And I made it all about me. Man, to get a revelation when you talk with someone and be like, I feel like you don't like me. Like, is that true? And to have them say, who are you? I'm Tracy. No, I know who you are, but who are you, Tracy? I'm asking you to do a job. I'm asking you to do it right. I'm not fighting with you. I got my own problems. It's hurtful when you think that someone is against you and then you discover that you're the bitch. I've had that. When you discover, like, my God, who the fuck am I? And you start to restructure how you view people. You start to think, maybe they having problems like I'm having problems. Maybe it's not about me. Maybe I can fucking just do a better job. Maybe I can come to work on time. Maybe I can go to lunch on time. Maybe I can finish my projects and not leave it for the next day. It's possible. It's possible that I'm the one that needs changing. What a revelation. Good morning, Panachica. Good morning. Let's go on. Don't go from one extreme to another, and don't be so hard on yourself. You have been dedicated to this process, and you're actually engaged in it more than you'll give yourself credit for. But you haven't been doing it for 20 years, Neil, or anything close to that. Yet the truth is, how long you have been engaged in it is not important. Are you engaged in it now? That's all that matters. Let's move on with your statement. You ask, where's my alcohol? Oh man, I hate dealing without alcohol at my station. I gotta get some alcohol, guys. Ah! Ooh. I am obsessed with cleaning out my ears. Obsessed. I always clean out my ears. I even went to a doctor one time and he was like, let me look at your ears. I said, Doc, if nothing else is clean on my body, my ears, they're going to be clean. And he agreed with me. He was like, these are some clean ears. I was like, right? Right? Be a stripper for your future partner. Stacey, no, you missed the whole point. I just want to be a stripper. I want to be a stripper for my future partner. Fuck him. Oh, I want to be a stripper for the world, not for him. Ugh, fuck him. He won't appreciate me being a stripper. I promise you. I'll be a stripper for him, and then he'll see how sexy I am, and then he'll be like, I never want you to strip out there ever again. I am not mad. There you go. All right. Do you know what I mean, Cece? Stripper for no man. Fuck him. God, time. I want to be a stripper for me. I want to be not a stripper, not a stripper, because I can't get up on the pole. That's the only reason why I don't want to be the stripper. I can't make it up the fucking pole. These thick thighs would just be at the base. I would just slide down. No, I want to do burlesque dancing, and I want to do that for me, not for no man. Reese, Reese goes, me too. Right, right. I mean, Reese, you got a better body. Maybe you can do the pole. I just can't do the pole, so I have to find something alternate where I can like appear naked and shake that ass. I might do it, and I might videotape it, and I might put it on video. I've got to get this shit out my system. I'm not dying until I get to do everything that I want. I've waitressed, boom. I have low expectations of myself. I love waitressing. I've always wanted to waitress. Always. Look, I did it at 60. Now I need to be a stripper or a burlesque dance. I need to be something, child. I need to be happy. All right, let's get back to Neil. What am I wearing today? Or I put black on. Oh, I could put, I'll put this one. Has stripes in it. Looking at all my bows for my hair. I'm like a 5-year-old. Okay, so God says, don't go from one extreme to another. Don't be so hard on yourself. You've been dedicated to this process and you're actually engaged in it more than you're giving yourself credit. But you haven't been doing it for 20 years or anything close to that. Yet the truth is, how long have you been engaged in it is not important. Are you engaged in it now? That's all that matters. Let's move on with your statement. You ask us to look where it's gotten you, and you describe yourself as being one step away from the poorhouse. I look at you and I see quite a different thing. I see a person who's one step away from the rich house. which is true, right? Because Neil wrote this goddamn book. What part of the rich house is he one step away from? Do you understand? He's up there complaining, I'm one step away, just lost my job, I'm one step away. And yet he's having these conversations with God that he turned into a book, which puts him in a rich house. See how that works? You don't know when your life is going to get turned around. I see a person who's one step away from the rich house. You feel you are one paycheck away from oblivion. And I see you as one paycheck away from nirvana. Now, much depends, of course, on what you see as your pay and to what end you are working. If the object of your life is to acquire what you call security, I see and understand why you feel you are one paycheck away from the poorhouse. Yet even this assessment is open to correction, because with my pay, all good things come to you, including the experience of feeling secure in the physical world. My pay, the payoff you get when you work for me, provides a great deal more than spiritual comforts. Physical comfort can be yours. Yet the ironic part about all this is that once you experience the kind of spiritual comfort my pay provides, the last thing you'll find yourself worrying about is physical comfort. Even the physical comfort of members of your family will no longer be a concern for you. But once you rise to a level of God consciousness, you will understand that you are not responsible for any other human soul, and that while it is commendable to wish every soul to live in comfort, each soul must choose, is choosing its own destiny this instant. So I'm going to stop there because that reminds me of some royalty in Germany or the Netherlands or something like that, where uh, the matriarch said to her children, I'm not leaving you all my money. Y'all better recognize I am not leaving you all my money. And I remember thinking to myself, why would a mother say that to her child? Why would a mother say, I'm not leaving you all my money? And then I realized that might be the best thing a mother can say to its child or father. My job is to not make you comfortable in your adult life. My job was to make you comfortable while you were living with me. Your job is to go create a different type of comfort, whatever that looks like to you. You know, when my dad died, he had a house in Indiana. And my dad said to me, and all of his kids, he said, if you want something from me, get it while I'm here. I will leave you nothing. Now, I heard him. I heard him loud and clear. And what he meant by that was, although I didn't know it at the time, but what he meant by that was he wasn't going to leave the house to us. And I know that sounds wicked because in Black families, it's so important to own a house and pass it down. Like we look forward to that, right? In Black families. So it's so nice, especially in the South, when you say, this is my grandfather's land, blah, 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 blah. But my dad had a different agenda. And he had a promise to his girlfriend. And the promise was between them, and it was none of our business. And so I didn't know what the promise was. I just know what my dad said. And my dad said, if you want something, do it while I'm living. And I heard him loud and clear. I don't know about my other siblings, they ain't the brightest. I heard my dad loud and clear. And I said, "Hey, Dad, what if you come live with me? I need help with Brian. I need help paying bills." And my dad was like, "Bet." I got what I needed from him based upon the words that came out of his mouth. And you know what I got out of that? A babysitter for one, a son who bonded with his grandfather. I got the best companionship, whether we argued or not. And there was many times where I was like, "Don't go to sleep tonight," but be totally joking. "Oh, that's whenever you lose it, you threaten me." I'm not threatening you. Sleep with one eye open. You know what I mean? It was joking. It was joking. Um, I had a dining partner. That was nice. You know, he loved to dine out. He's a tourist, so he loved food. I love to be dined. What better person to do it with than your dad, right? Come on, Dad. You're in a bad mood. Yeah, I'm in a bad mood. Well, I feel like if we go to a diner? Yeah, Dad, let's go out to eat. Man, that simple things would just change his attitude. And my siblings never got that memo about him. They were like, "Dad's mean. Dad's ornery. We can't stand him." I was like, "Y'all, this man is fine with me. This man's taking care of my child." And at some point, that man paid my rent. I'm a Leo. You think I'm going to have a man in my house, be it my dad or a lover, and they don't pay rent? He made enough money. He made a lot of money. I was not stupid. And what I got out of it was the best time of my life. I'm going to say we stayed together around 15 years. I think it was at least 15 years. It was nice. Oh well. I miss my dad. I'm going off on a tangent. I don't even know how I got there. I miss my dad. Oh. I need a good man in my life, guys. I mean, a really good man. Not a fuck boy. All right, I'm getting angry again. I see why God didn't choose me. God to be like, girl, you'd have to like go back to when you were 5. We can't start from this point. Is everyone happy? Oh, that's good. Oh, the relationship I had with my dad was the best. It was the best. We could have an argument and break dinner, not hold on to a grudge. It was beautiful. Yeah, yeah. I miss my dad. Come be with me, Dad. Show your presence to me. I need to know that you're around. Because these ninjas out here, they don't know how to be real men. Oh, talking about real men, which is a terrible statement, but you know what I mean. There's a song that I absolutely love. I mean, love this song. I think I talked about it last night. Let me see if I can find it. It's called To Be a Man. And it's a beautiful, beautiful country song. Little do you guys know, I love country. I'm telling you, I wish for you all to listen to this song. I'm going to leave it up as we end. And if you want a reading with me, you know the routine. 213-458-7408. Everything is in my opinion. And this is the song, To Be a Man. Look it up on YouTube. And it's the remix version that is like amazing. There are 3 versions out there. I like the remix, and the one that I'm showcasing right here is the remix. Amazing song. Alrighty now, guys. Thank you for putting up with me. I am going to lunch with my neighbors. Um, and I will see you and speak with you later. Call me for your own personal reading. 213-458-7408. Love you guys. Take it easy. Bye.
Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals